Welcome to the Cristina Briseño Show. I'm your fit lender on Instagram. Today I have a very special guest. He's an author, he's an influencer, he's a coach, he's a mentor, he's a Super Bowl champion, and he's been an inspiration in my life. He's written a couple of books, but super honored to have made the cover of one of his last books. It's The Ancient Power of a Sisterhood, a book for new women. So I want to introduce you guys to a great friend of mine, Setema Gali. Thank you so much for being with us today. He was at our last event, Create Your Life by Design. He was our keynote speaker. So today we just want to share with you a little bit of what's going on in the world out there. I know some people are a little bit shooken up by what's going on, but we're here just to go over, what I'm doing to get through with my family, with my kids, with my husband, with my business. Setema and I both went through this in 2008, the 2008 market crash. We were right in it, just riding through. So, just being here with you and sharing our story is amazing because we have a similar story, believe it or not, kind of even to the 900 square foot apartment situation, right?
Yes. First of all, Cristina, thanks for having me here. I'm grateful to be here. I'm honored to be on the show and to be able to share some of my expertise and to just, again, make a difference for the people out there watching and listening. So thank you.
Thank you. So Setema, tell us a little bit about you. A little bit about your background, your Shield Maiden. I wasn't Shield Maiden. I did Immersion 7.0 in summer of 2018. So that's how I met Setema. So just tell us a little bit about your programs. I know you have the male version, the female version, and I heard a lot of people want you to do a kid version, a teenage version of it. So,
well, it goes back to, I played college ball at BYU. Mm-hmm. I went to the New England Patriots. I won a Super Bowl there. And then I jumped into, after I retired from the NFL, I went into mortgages. So about 03, 04, I jumped into the mortgage industry back then. And we were, back in the day, it was like printing money, right? You remember those days, it was easy, right? If you had a heartbeat and a social security number, you could get a loan for 150% of the value of your home. And back then, while I was doing mortgages, Cristina, I knew, my heart was like, this is good, it's great money, but there's something more for you to do in your life. Like there's something more that's designed for you, like a very higher purpose or mission for me. And as I began to make that transition, we lost. 07, 08, you talked about it, when the mortgage and real estate economy collapsed in 08. And it felt like Armageddon to me, right? I was not prepared. Probably like you, right? It is scary.
It was scary. It was completely caught off guard. And I was in panic mode, like a lot of people are today, in major panic mode and worried about, the material items. And they're taking my stuff that I've worked so hard for. And, it was me. And why? But yeah, it's scary. And I can see where some people are nervous. They're uncertain about the future. They're scared to spend. They don't know. They don't know what to do. They don't have any guidance at all.
And because you and I went through that, Cristina, because and I have empathy. I don't want to sound like I don't have empathy because I do. I know it's tough for people. I know a lot of people are panicked. People in mortgage, real estate, restaurants. My goodness, athletes and all the industries, the arenas and flights and travel and taxis and Ubers. There's the domino effect is taking place. Well, I talk about that because we both hit the bottom. I hit the bottom. When I say hit the bottom, I mean went from a 6,000 square foot home. We had an 8,000 square home we just built. We had brand new cars. We had every toy and just everything. And little by little, over the course of 4 years, we lost it all. And ended up in a 900 square foot townhome.
You said 901.
Yeah, 900 square foot town. I think we were like 924 square feet, and we were late on the rent. Our credit was it was horrible. And I think back to that, we're like 10, 12 years ago. And that's why right now, today, I'm grateful to be on the show because more than ever, this is the time for people like you and I and other leaders in our industries to shine. This is the time to pivot, not panic, to get focused and create, not go into chaos. And so, after the mortgage collapse, NFL mortgage real estate, I was broke for about 4 years, and I lost it all. Like, I lost everything. Even I had a big fat Super Bowl ring I won with the Patriots. That's a whole nother story. I sold it. I gave it up to put food on the table, and I rebuilt, I re-engineered. Like, I went to work, and today, right, moved from Utah to California. Today, I love what I do because, Cristina, I get to coach people. I get to coach clients, business owners, entrepreneurs, and I get to broadcast the message. I have a podcast and books, but I get to broadcast this message of a possibility. I broadcast the message as beacons of hope and beacons of light to let people know you don't have to suffer.
Right.
You don't have to suffer. You don't have, and I know some people are going to hear that, but tell me you don't understand. You don't understand. Like, and I would tell people, listen, what's the worst thing that could happen right now?
Right.
The worst thing that could happen is, okay, so, you lose your business, you go out of business, you lose your job, you don't pay your mortgage, you don't pay your cars, and you get evicted. Okay, then what?
Right.
And
You're healthy. You're healthy.
You still got
your
health. You still got family. And so, it's brought me here today. And what we do, and you asked the question, what do we do in our program? It's like, I coach people, right? We run immersion. We've got a podcast. We've got trainings. I help people to get to the next level, and I help people to navigate difficult waters, just like times like this.
And that's where you've helped me so much when I met you at Shield Maiden. And, I had a completely different perception of what the program was about. And even then I still thought, I don't think I was a little selfish with, I don't want to give what the program is about, but in just being about myself and like challenging and, I'm fit versus the other women that were not so fit. And I remember one time, and I'll never forget, you and Coach Nate asked me, what are you doing? Like, what the F are you doing? And I'm leading the class like anybody can do what I'm doing right now because I'm thinking like it's a challenge and look at me being fit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like that's how behind I was in everything. I was still so much in my head about just little things that I guess that mattered to me, but
yeah,
that brought me to getting close to people, caring more about people's feelings and what they are, like making connections with a lot of people. And like right now, I find myself sometimes coaching people, like we had a call the other day, we have a mastermind group text with all these other women, and she's falling apart, and she's just like, but I worry, and oh my God, and I'm eating crappy, and I'm not exercising, I'm not doing any of this. So I shared, well, this is what I'm doing right now. I get up in the morning. Like if I'm going to work, I get dressed up, I curl my eyelashes, I blow out my hair. Where are you going? I'm going downstairs. I'm going to go for a walk later. I'm going to do this. So you have to stay active. Like I tell people, you can't sit at home with the TV on all day long. You're going to go freaking crazy.
Yeah.
You're going to go crazy. With your husband, with the kids. I go crazy. Yeah,
well,
I go crazy.
You just said it, I was on someone else's podcast last week, and they asked, Setema, what are you doing? And Cristina, you just hit it on the head. You still have a morning routine. You still treat the day like we're business as usual. You have a sleep routine. You still read and study. You adjust, right? And I'd say this is one of the greatest times to get creative because as the marketplace has shifted, as industries and platforms they're breaking down. Even can you imagine if Amazon, we wake up and Amazon's like, we're offline for 24, like that would cause a panic.
Right.
Or if Facebook or if Google, if the internet just went down, every platform is getting broken and tested. And it's the same with our industries. So, if you're a professional, I would look at this time and say, okay, well, let's just ask some different questions. What needs to change in our business so we can be more bulletproof? Or who do we need to become so instead of just barely surviving or barely making it through, we thrive. Like we actually can make it. So, Cristina, so if it's okay with you, I want to share 4 things with people that have made a difference for me. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to call this move, right? You got to move your body. You got to exercise. You got to get, even if you're working in the office all day, I call these strategic resets. About every 50 minutes, I get up, like literally every 50 minutes. hour, sometimes it'll go an hour, but I get up, I walk out of my office, right? I'll do jumping jacks, I'll breathe, I'll get water, I'll get in the sun, you've got to reset your body. So you move, exercise. I'm doing 7-mile hikes, 2-3 mile runs, push-ups, all kinds of things with my kids. So the first one is move, right? Move your body, okay? The second M is what I call mentors. There are mentors today. You're a mentor. I'm a mentor. And so if you're watching or listening to this, whether you're in mortgages, whether you're an employee, whether you're an Uber driver, it doesn't matter. There are people out there right now that can help you. I have my mentors. People who help me, and I had mentors who helped me 12 years ago. I have coaches and mentors who are helping me now. So, right, first two M's, number one, move your body. Extras, number two, mentors. The third thing I'll share with people that are going through a tough time, they don't know how to handle the stress, is the third one is what I call meditate. And there's science behind all of these things. There's science behind moving in endorphins, right? There's science behind learning from other people, but there's also science in meditation and in finding space. And you don't have to sit here and go like, you don't have to do that.
Right.
Anytime there's silence or space, like you can create this space in your mind, which gives you power. It gives you clarity, it gives you vision, so you can see clearly, right? You come up to the clouds, and you go back down and go to work. So between those three M's and the final M that I would share that will make a massive difference for people today is, and again, it's a word that, a lot of people say, oh, motivation's crap. And I'm like, look, you gotta find a way to motivate yourself.
Right.
And it's not about how many times you get hit. People say it's not about how many times you get hit, it's about how many times you get up. I say it's not even about that. It's about when you get hit, while you're down coming up, okay, why did I get hit? Why did I get knocked down? And be aware of it. So when you get back up and they come swinging again, you don't get hit again. And if people will just, again, move your body, meditate, have mentors, listen to podcasts. You're watching Cristina's podcast. And of course, find ways to stay highly motivated and committed.
Right.
You can get through these tough times, 100%.
Right, but you got to keep going. That's what I keep saying. Keep going. You got to keep moving. You got to keep going. You got to keep doing all this. Now, let me ask you a question. We live in a world of illusion right now, major, right? So some people, like you said, if the internet went down, people are like, a lot of people feel like that's all that they have. Like it's become them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about this whole social media and people that think they're celebrities on social media or Insta famous or this or that? Because sometimes I see some people out there and I'm like, what? It makes me sad to see where humanity's going. You know what I mean? With things like that. It makes me sad, the things that people say. And I have a 17-year-old, a 15 and a 12-year-old. And my husband and I talk to them a lot about illusion, reality.
Yes.
This is who we are. We have real friends. We have, our family. This is who we are. Yes, we live in a world where the kids are on social media a lot of the time, and they do schoolwork or even homeschooling now.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing, but it's not real. You know what I mean? It's what's in here, and the values that we teach our kids.
So I'd say this. We'll never go back to the pre-social media days. It is a way of life now.
Right.
TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. It is a way of life. So, there's a lot of people out there who are TikTok famous, and I don't know the value they provide to the marketplace, except that they have thousands and hundreds of thousands of followers. I share the same message with my sons that you and your husband share with your children, which is, there's real, and then I love illusion. We use the word counterfeit. People's lives online, it's not the real truth. They're photoshopped, they're angled, there's lights. I've seen people literally smile for a selfie like this, and you've probably seen this too. They smile, they're like, hey, and then as soon as they stop, they're like,
yeah.
And I'm like, that is
exhausting.
That's not how I want to live. So that's why when we started our business and our movement, I just said, okay, I want people to be happy, real, and produce real results. And likes and comments are all good, right? It's good for the algorithm. It makes you feel good. You get dopamine when you see the likes. But what makes you feel really good is, I'd say two things. Number one, really making a real difference for someone, helping them, like the way you help your mastermind, the way you help your clients, your teams, your clients and customers. The other one is like producing results yourself. And so I know like social media is not going away. So I ethically and morally leverage social media just like you do. Like we put our messages out, we broadcast messages of possibility, we market, we position. And I tell my sons all the time and myself, I got to remind myself because I sometimes get sucked into oh my gosh, they look so happy. I'm like, okay, that's good for them. But what matters is where I'm at and how I feel today. So it's not going to go away. And so I tell people, like, you got to learn how to leverage it. And you got to learn how to like utilize it for your advantage, right? Utilize social media, utilize Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever links you're on and platforms. Use it. Don't get used or abused by it.
Right. Yeah. Don't let it take over your life.
You got it. Yeah.
What I also got from Shield Maiden is by the end of the program, how I get kind of shy in front of a camera and all that, and it was like when I went up there, how the girls went up there and spoke at the end, talked a little bit about their experience with the whole program, that how am I going to look has gone away, or like it's going to look dumb or has to be perfect. So that's helped me a lot with like, the marketing part of it. Even when we went to Dallas for Pro Rev Live, that kind of, you asked me not too long ago, like what happened? Like, where did it take off from there with my social media now? And that's what, between Shield Maiden, Pro Rev Live, just the branding, the marketing, all that has taken off.
Yes.
But I feel like it's different because to me, it's, yes, as much as it is an illusion, I live by that. That is who, even though you have people helping you with the postings, you need the help, you need, everybody to help you with it, but that's who I am. You know what I mean? That's who my kids are. That's the life that we live on a day-to-day basis. And I want to share that with the world because you can do both. Like with what we're going with what we're going through right now. Sorry. It's sharing our message with everybody or trying to touch as many people as we can because a lot of people aren't going to listen. They're going to be in that box and I can't get out of just what's happening right now, but in sharing and posting with people what we go through, I think that's just, it's a huge advantage for them to be able to listen to somebody that's been through those things. You know what I mean?
Well, I think one thing that helps me is you said this, and I call it being a beacon of light or a broadcaster of a message or a role model mindset. It's where you utilize social media to broadcast. And while some people might think it looks fake, I've been following you now since we met, and I've been telling you, Cristina, your social media is like, it's awesome. It shows lifestyle, it shows work, it shows fitness. And that's what I would tell people. That's how you ethically and morally utilize the platforms. You broadcast. And our message is this, it's the same. It's like, someone's watching you. Like my purpose and mission is to spread a message that would increase happiness, that would impact heart, that would help people who are like hanging on for dear life. Like, how do I survive this? I don't have any money. My business is going to go out of business. I'm like, let me help you. And the best way I can help, number one, is broadcast, communicate a message. Instagram, my podcast, my videos, my social media, my email list. And I love that's what you do. I mean, that's what we do. And that's what leaders do. In fact, I've got leaders right now, my clients, I'm telling them if there's ever a time to over communicate,
it's now.
It's now.
It's now.
You should be touching your employees, not literally, but elbow touch. But you should be emailing and messaging and shooting podcasts and videos because that's what our people need. I mean, and there's two types of communication. There's fear-driven, which you see the news. That's why I tell you quit watching the news.
Yeah, quit watching the news. It's like toxic.
It's toxic. And then there's fear-driven, or there's powerful, positive messages. And that's what you're doing here. That's why I'm honored to be here on the show with you today. And that's why that's how we utilize social media is we broadcast. And I'll say this, like there's a message of hope and a possibility. That's the message that we're sharing right now.
Yeah. And we're going to get through this. It's just a little test of, how strong we are. And it's a totally different feeling from 2008 to, 12 years later of, okay, totally different. I'm a totally different person, 12 years back to who I am, even 2 years back. That fear is not there. I'm not gonna lie, I've broken down in tears. Like, I can't believe our planet, our world, our people are going through all of this right now. But we also have to think of, how much have we abused our planet? You know what I mean? Mother Earth is kind of like, come on, guys, like, get it together. And that's kind of how I see it. And, I could see, like, why is this happening to us and this? But you just kind of roll with it, and we figure out a solution, because we will find a solution.
Yeah.
We will. And it's going to be internally. I think we as humans, we have to change. You know what I mean? That's the change. And it slowed down our lives for a reason. Why? Because we're always on the go, 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 go. We never have time for projects at home. We never have time to sit with our kids. We're always on, technology or on the phone, or, I'm guilty of telling my kids, quiet, not right now. And right now it's like, okay, what time is our next walk? Let's go on another bike ride, or let's go walk the dogs, or the projects that we've, like organizing stuff at home. And there is no time. Like, right now, time doesn't exist. You know what I mean? What time you got to go to bed, you got to wake up at a certain time. You got to keep that to be sane. But I think we're living in I know some people are like, well, Corona, it's a horrible time. But it's also a beautiful time, because we're connecting with ourselves, with our families, with our friends, and tapping into who we want to be even more. How can we grow even more from all this? It's a lesson.
Well, I love what you said. Look, the media's taught, like words have power, and words change us physiologically, and the neurons and the chemicals in our body. So when you say pandemonium, pandemic, quarantine, lockdown, shutdown, that doesn't help. Now, you can let the media call it what you want, but I have changed. It's what we teach our clients. It's what I teach my kids. I'm like, this is a time to deepen gratitude. This is a special time. Through the history of ages, this time will be remembered like other history, World War II, the Cold War. We had 9/11 in our day, right? Or the dot-com bust. This will be one of those times, because
it's huge.
This sifting is taking place. So I look at this as a time to expand. I look at this as a time to reconnect and redefine our purpose. I also get this as a pause from the monotony, and like, okay, what things do I want to do today? And you said, right, I use the words, have a greater reverence for life, take more time for reflection, deepen my gratitude, expand my skills, right? Reconnect with family and friends, create more messages, create more business. I mean, we were talking about this before we came on the show. We have time to do things that we didn't do before, because we were just so busy. Disneyland shut down. All the movie theaters are shut down. There's no sports. So for me, again, this is a personal thing. I look at this as this beautiful pause. I look at this as a beautiful time to redefine life. I look at this as a time to strengthen my faith, reconnect with God and my wife and my children, with clients, to like really level up our business systems and our models. And I mean, you can either look at it as pandemic,
right,
or a powerful positive pause, where we get to be home more. We get to choose how we respond. And I love the phrase that says, victims react, leaders respond. And I'm responding to this. I'm putting my own labels. Like, people are quarantined. I'm a quarantine. This is like staycation.
Yeah.
This is the time I'm watching more videos. Like, I'm not binging on Netflix like a lot of people. I mean, the other day, I finished Netflix. I'm like, holy smokes. I don't know who's got time to do that, but I'm up early. I'm still journaling. I'm still writing. We're going on, I'm taking my boys on these long hikes. We got trails all over here in Southern California. So I think it's a beautiful time, and I'm not being overly optimistic. I believe you got to be realistic, optimistic. But this will be a time where 12 months from now, one of two things is going to happen. People will either look back and say, man, Cristina, look, Setema, look what I did. Look at everything I accomplished. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Or you'll say, I wish I would have.
Yeah.
And so you have the chance right now to decide, I'm going to become a master in my profession. I'm going to launch a podcast, write a book, lose weight, prepare for a half marathon. I'm going to write gratitude journals. I'm going to just build this power and certainty, or I'm going to binge on Netflix and hoard toilet paper and like,
right. Just wait. When is this over? You know, when is this over? Yesterday I was on a bike ride, well, family bike ride, and you know, my daughter's like, you know, they're a little crazy. They're teenagers. You know, when summer comes, we're gonna be gone. We're gonna be at the beach. We're gonna do this, and they're like, you know, 30 more days. And I said, you know, we might miss it. We might miss this. She goes, well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, us being together, riding a bike, enjoying like the weather, enjoying just like it was almost like a meditation also, you know? Even though the kids had gone crazy at the store, this, that, you know, we made a quick pit stop, but just in my mind, I'm thinking like, we're gonna miss it. You know, we're gonna miss this pause that we had to catch up. Like, I've been cooking lately, and I like to cook, but
what?
I've been cooking. But it'd been a long time since I'd cooked. You know, it was like eat out or this or that, you know, with the kids, and they figure it out, and now they look forward to it. And I look forward to dinners on the table at 6 o'clock. You know, it's 5:30, dinner's almost ready. And it's like a meditation for me to cook. I love it, and I give it energy, and like, you know, I just love it. I just love it. So, like you said, you know, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to take it one way or another, you know, positive or negative. You know what I mean? Or this time will just have passed you by, like you said, and you can't take it back.
Yep.
So, you know, people can look at it however they want, but I see it as a time to grow, reflect, like you said, and, you know, just setting us up for our next journey, for what's to come, for the next chapter of our lives.
Yeah. 100%
so
agree.
I'm going to take advantage of it as much as I can and keep doing what we do. Yeah. So just want to thank you so much for being with us and for, you know, giving me the time to interview you a little bit and for you to share, you know, with the people out there what we're doing, what you're doing. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
I want to say this thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here with you. I remember meeting you almost 2 years ago when you came through Shield, made an immersion, and I've just loved watching the transformation, the power, the certainty. I love how you're so close with your husband and your kids. I love it. Like your kids I feel like they always come up and give me hugs, and they're so amazing. And keep up the good work. Like the world needs more Cristina Briseño. You know, there's people that need to be touched by your message and by your movement and by your mastermind. So I'm honored. Thank you so much, and keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.